Day once again. And thank you for always tuning in to this show, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's a blessing to me, and it's a blessing to all of you, including every Guyanese who are listening to this program. From wherever, whether you're in the States, North America, you're in China, you're in Europe, wherever you are, thank you. Thank you. I am beginning to see the fruits, and I am beginning to hear the things I want to hear in this country. Before I get to tonight's program, Uncle and Auntie, I just want to give you guys an update on this rape and sodomy allegation brought against a government minister, Minister Lall, Nigel Lall. A few minutes ago, I am told that the police put out a statement saying that a report was officially made by the victim, and Minister Lall was arrested like 20 minutes, 30 minutes ago, and he is presently at Brickdam Police Station. I don't know if he will be placed on bail or not. So let's wait and see what becomes of this allegation against him, and we move on to tonight's program. Joshua?
Yes, sir.
We can only wait and see what happened. Yes. But I could tell you to Uncle and Auntie that he is off the job. He asked to be sent on, what type of leaf you call it? Uncle and Auntie, he asked the president to be sent on administrative leave. I never hear something like this in my whole life, that an employee is asking their boss or his boss to be sent on administrative leave. This is a new one I'm hearing. Namaste, Uncle and Auntie, and let's get going, please. Please. Let us keep our eyes and our ears and our nose, on what is taking place in Guyana. We are hearing about rape and sodomy of a young child. Let's talk about the rape and sodomy of our resources in this land. So let's get going. It's now time for the Guyanese people to come alive. We cannot wait for 2025. I have a slogan for tonight. Guyanese, come alive. Don't wait for 2025. You would hear me repeating all the time tonight that same slogan, so that it can stick in your memory. We cannot wait for 2025 to stay alive. Trust me on that one. Exxon partners eyeing 52 trillion. Let me repeat. Exxon partners eyeing $52 trillion in the 5 projects already approved by the PNC and the PPP. 52 trillion. That's 260 billion American dollars. If we are to calculate Guyana's yearly budget, Uncle and Auntie, of $3 billion, that is money to run this country for the next 86 years. 86 years, you have no worries. You would pay no taxes. Your roads, your hospitals, everything can be better. I want you to ask your leaders, uncle and auntie, how much out of that $52 trillion is earmarked for Guyana? Joshua, you didn't hear what I said just now. The people eyeing 52 trillion, 260 billion American dollars from those 5 projects. Out of that, Joshua, how much is there for Guyana? That's my question. You don't know. Well, let me tell you. You may not even get 86 weeks, much less 86 years budget money. And that is the kind of money the oil people boasting to the world about, uncle and auntie. That is the kind of money that sits out there that belongs to every Guyanese. Yes, to us. That we can't get a proper taste out of it. The oil companies licking them lips, boasting to the world. Who boasting for you in this country? Kaieteur News reported that story yesterday from Exxon mouth. Who reporting anything to you here? My reporter keeps asking Jagdeo about Exxon expenses and the formula being used by Exxon to calculate we profit. 2 most important things in a 50-50 partnership business, uncle. And to this day, Bharat Jagdeo refusing to answer those questions. All you get from him is a barrage of cussing on the reporters and this newspaper. That's all you get. Uncle, auntie, isn't it time to come alive before 2025? Huh? The frustration, disappointment, impatience and anger of the South African people came to a boiling point, and everything in South Africa went to a standstill on March 20th of this year. The racism, the exploitation, and the unfair, unbalanced, unjust treatment of the Africans, mainly the black and colored people, by the whites and foreign exploiters. They couldn't take it anymore, uncle. Yes, they couldn't take it anymore, and brought that country to a standstill. South Africa, like many other African countries, is one of the richest nations in the African continent, and many of its people struggling to find a meal when the day comes with all that wealth. What is going on here in Guyana? Why are you people so silent? You ready to come alive before 2025? I am asking again. The man who led that protest in South Africa couldn't bear, couldn't take it anymore. What the present and past leaders doing to South Africa's wealth in partnership with the exploiters. The sitting president, uncle, a man named Ramaphosa, get catch with $4 million stuff in his sofa at one of his farmhouses. And he tell the parliament he sell cows and hide the money in there. He sell cows and stuff the money in his sofa in the farmhouse. The previous president get kicked out for corruption and is before the court presently for thieving the people money. what is going on here in Guyana. The richest country on earth today, 3/4 of its people struggling for a meal when the day come. The bauxite going out every day. Your timber, your gold, your diamond, and now your oil by the shiploads and plane loads. And look how you leaders got your living. Isn't it time for us to bring this country to a standstill? Isn't it time for the Guyanese people to come alive and don't wait for 2025? I think so. I am feeling it. I told you guys Friday how Exxon held a press conference to explain how them recording the expenses and profits from Guyana and telling the reporters they must not record them. Man, isn't that enough? Isn't that enough for y'all to come alive before 2025? Your partner who running your oil business, telling the reporters who are the eyes and ears of the Guyanese people, they cannot record them. So that they can deny later on that they never ever say anything to the paper report. Oh, you know why, Uncle? Because that man was trying to make us a pack of S or a pack of F. Sheep and fowls, I mean. Since when a company working with a country as a partner, holding a press briefing on the money aspect of the business and putting restrictions on how you should collect your information. Tell me, are you better come alive before 2025? Or they're going to skin you alive? Or they're going to bury you alive? And these politicians that you have, all of them will be the one to dance on your graves. That's how Lall is seeing it. And I am telling it as it is. The Exxon man said last week how the money invested in Guyana didn't come from loans. It come in the form of what he called equity. Let me repeat, Uncle. Equity means is them own company money them invest out there. Them didn't borrow any money from any bank to pay interest. Them said them use them own money. That is what they're trying to put Guyana's head in. Yes. That's what they're trying to put a wee head. Or they're trying to put in wee head. So the interest rate question I keep on talking about going to disappear. And you notice how tricky they get in? And what lack they're putting we in? This is the new scheme they come up with. They've been listening to this program and hear how I have been constantly banging that 50 billion investment out there. And if we pay 10% interest rate, it's 5 billion US in interest rate alone. Yes. When Guyana not even getting $1 billion in profit and royalty a year. So, my constant banging of that interest rate and the comments from other international organizations to cap that interest rate is one that has been playing on their minds morning, noon, and night. So now they decide to call a press conference and come up with a jiggery-puggery answer, a hocus-pocus scheme to tell us now that it's not loans. It's not loans we get to pay interest on. It's their own money they invest out there. Because we are partners. So that money ain't come with no interest, uncle. That's what they were trying to tell us at the press conference. That's why they don't want the press conference to be recorded. I just got to laugh. I just got to laugh. You know, uncle, there's an old saying. When you catch a pacu, you bust it back and put salt. Well, the leaders of this country have Exxon busting me back and not putting salt alone. They're putting pepper pot plus vinegar inside. Y'all better come alive before 2025 or they're going to bury you alive. God way, they give me faith. Whew. Y'all remember when I asked Jagdeo, what is the interest rate on the investments Exxon charging us out there? I don't know if I remember. Anyone here remember what he said to me? He told us how difficult it is to get loans for the oil industry today. And went on to give us a whole 6 for 9 story. Or a 9 for 6 story. I want to play him for y'all. Yes, I have to play him. You got to play him. You have it. Play it for them.
About capping, I said all of these issues, the interest rate capping, it's complex. It deals with the cost of raising capital, whether it's competitively sourced, the availability of money now for the oil and gas industry. You know, many banks in the world today will not lend into fossil fuel, anything to do with fossil fuel, because they're moving away from that, their lending policy. Raising capital for this industry. We've seen in Guyana's case, you don't need to go far. The Biden administration vetoed the loan that Gisby had from the IDB, claiming that it was going to go for the oil and gas industry. And this is a local company trying to put in place only the infrastructure to service the oil and gas industry. And they got their loan vetoed. And so it's not easy to raise billions of US dollars in capital. So interest rates are reflective of the cost of raising capital. Sometimes it's better to have equity come in, and other times it's interest. It's a complex issue. But so the concern has been raised, just like all of the other concerns in the PSA that I have mentioned, that you write about every day, that I mentioned, but we have a differing view on how we address them.
Uncle, this is the man in whose hands the prosperity of this present generation and the destiny of future generations lies. Yes. Now you tell me, if we are in a good place or in the most dangerous place one can ever imagine. If the man that is running this US $1 trillion oil sector don't know where the money came from that is being invested out there, what is being paid on it or what is not being paid on it, where does that leave us, uncle? Where? Please come alive before 2025, please. If not, you people will be buried alive. I am begging you people, uncle. Me and my team at Kaieteur News can't do more than what we are doing. You need to fix a date and let us shut this country down so that we can get the leaders and ExxonMobil back to the drawing board or to the table. I will lead it. I will lead it. And you guys need to let it be before 2025. I can't wait for another day to pass, much less 2 years from now. Let's give ourselves a chance, Uncle, to survive. We must come alive before 2025. Brothers and sisters of this beautiful country called Guyana, y'all really understand the depth of trouble this nation faces with Barajagdeo? One man told me I was insulting and rude to tell Barajagdeo that he's very, very disrespectful and is becoming a great danger to the citizens of this country and the region as a whole. To tell this nation, all because I tell this nation that Guyana, well, not me tell this nation, I told him that. Because he tell this country, Guyana, that we will have to move to litigation with Exxon in the event of an oil spill. I told him to stop selling out this nation to Exxon and get out the office. Uncle, I went on to tell him, every time he opens his mouth, he's creating a nightmare for this whole region and its citizens. Was I wrong to tell him that, Joshua? But my friend tell me I was insulting to him. Tell me, man. A judge grant protection for this region. Yep. And he fighting against that. And telling this nation, we have to carry Exxon to court if there's an oil spill. Isn't it time to tell this man something worse than what I told him, dear uncle? And then he had the nerve, Uncle. Barajagdeo had the nerve to respond to me, telling me my daily dose of lies, half-truths, and self-righteousness, along with my unchecked ego, is what is damaging to this country and its people. Uncle, who can lie more than Barajagdeo? Who can hide and who is more damaging to this country than Barajagdeo? Look around. Look around. Name one thing that Barajagdeo did. One thing he did that you can, anyone you can say, you're happy with, you're comfortable with. Everything is cursed. Everything is corrupt. I even go so far to tell you people that I am willing to pay anybody in Guyana $1 million to list one single thing the PPP or the PNC did that benefit this country for the last 30 years. One single thing. I better come alive before 2025. Jagdeo telling us how loans are hard to get. Loans hard to get. For Exxon to get loans, and Exxon hold a press conference, Uncle. Exxon hold a press conference to tell Guyana we ain't take no loans. You heard him. Just now he said that our loans hard to get in the oil industry. And last week Exxon holding press conference and telling this nation they never take no loan. What happening in this country? Are you tell me something, man? Please, can somebody say something? Shout through the radio, I'm listening. Oil has made Guyana the richest country in the world today per person, uncle. But instead of our leaders focusing on this, they're hosting press conferences to talk about election, racism, Bora Baji, and loans. Uncle, when will they start addressing this US $1 trillion oil sector and tell us what is really happening out there? Why we have to wait on Exxon to hold press conferences to tell us about our resources? Joshua, I need a vacation. And I don't think I want to come back until I come alive before 2025. I am afraid. They got a saying, when you mess too long with darkness, dirtiness, and nasty people, some can rub off on you. So I am afraid. I don't want them things rub off on me. I'm going somewhere where I can sit down in peace, drink a shot of vodka, and lick some ice cream with my grandchildren. It is deal with these misfits for leaders and ExxonMobil. Joshua, play back Barrett Jack Deere that you played just now. Play him back.
About capping, I said all of these issues, the interest rate capping, it's complex. It deals with the cost of raising capital, whether it's competitively sourced, the availability of money now for the oil and gas industry. You know, many banks in the world today will not lend into fossil fuel, anything to do with fossil fuel, because they're moving away from that, their lending policy. Raising capital for this industry. We've seen in Guyana's case, you don't need to go far. The Biden administration vetoed the loan that Gisby had from the IDB, claiming that it was going to go for the oil and gas industry. And this is a local company trying to put in place only the infrastructure to service the oil and gas industry. And they got their loan vetoed. And so it's not easy to raise billions of US dollars in capital. So interest rates are reflective of the cost of raising capital. Sometimes it's better to have equity come in, and other times it's interest. It's a complex issue. But so the concern has been raised, just like all of the other concerns in the PSA that I have mentioned, that you write about every day, that I mentioned, but we have a different view on how we address them.
He always got a different view of how we address them. Always. When he get ready, he tell me, what? You may not agree. No, not you may not agree. You don't agree. Oh. Interest rate capping is a complex. Yes, he says a complex one with the cost of raising capital. Many banks today not lending money for the fossil fuel industry. The oil industry talking there, uncle. Because the world is moving away from that. Then he said the Biden administration vetoed a loan from the IDB for Gisby at Houston, uncle, at Houston on the East Bank, where all the supplies have to pass through to go to the ships out there. He said the Biden administration vetoed a loan for that project. So it's not easy to raise money for the oil industry. Uncle, auntie, he's not telling us that the same Biden administration, the American Exim Bank, is about to approve 700 million US in loans to ExxonMobil and Guyana for the gas plant at Wales. That is 150 times more dangerous to Guyana and the world. No. Joe Biden will not veto that because that will position America to make a huge profit while sinking Guyana in debts and bind, yes, and put us in a bind that we will never be able to get out of. No. Oil-rich Ghana, not Guyana, oil-rich Ghana found itself in a chokehold with the IMF. They took a loan to build their gas plant from the IMF that is owned by America, in which Ghana end up losing 250 million American dollars a year on that project. And when Ghana complained to the IMF tell them, sorry, I still have to pay the money. Why you borrow? The Ghanaian citizens still to today, still scrambling to find a meal when the day come. This is where Guyana will be with a Wales gas plant. I will be struggling daily to get a meal. Yes, to get a meal when the day come. Uncle, that project costs. And now, we don't know what it is. That figure moving like a yo-yo every minute. Yet Barajag, they're telling every Guyanese, electricity bill gonna cut in half. You better come alive before them skin you alive in 2025. Jagdev said, interest rate reflective of raising capital. Interest rate, uncle, determines how hard it is to get money. On to today. Jagdev has never come out and tell this nation what is the interest rate we are paying on some of the loans they have out there. But, uncle, it is reflected in the accounting books that billions coming out as lease interests. Thank you, Miss Mortley. Thank you. Money coming out. Money coming out as interest lease. And Jagdev aunt now can't tell me, thank you, the interest rate. And now we are being told by Exxon that investments out there is equity. So you have two things registering in the books here, uncle. Interest rate and equity. That white man tell reporters that the 75% them taking out on every barrel of oil that comes out the ground every minute is to pay back them equity. No interest is being charged. And he man give an example to uncle. He tell the reporters, if you buy a mango for $10 and sell it for $10, you will make no profit. All them get back is the $10. That is what the white man wants me and you to believe. Them buy all them things out there for 50 billion US. So they're not making a profit. They just want back their 50 billion US. Money what Jagdeo or Norton didn't check. Them didn't see or didn't verify. But Exxon taking out 50 billion, what them said they spent out there with no interest. How you like that, Josh? Let me break that down more simple for you, uncle. That is like Lall telling you, I can buy a donkey cart for $10. Of course I'm buying it for you. And you don't have to pay me. Let me use 10 million. I'm going to put $10. Uncle is like Lall telling you, I buy a donkey cart for you for $10 million. And you don't have to pay me interest on that 10 million. You just have to pay back me 75% of the money you make every day on the donkey cart. Me not charging you interest. What me do to you there, Joshua? Huh? Yes. A donkey cart for $10 million. You got to really be a donkey to pay the man $10 million for a donkey cart. This is even worse than the interest rate, uncle. That is what Jagdeo and Norton got Exxon doing to we right now with a 50 billion equity. Just like how the donkey cart got to work until the donkey dead or the cart broke up to pay 75% of all the money work every day. That is what Exxon doing to Guyana. 75% of every barrel got to go in Exxon bank account until the oil is done, uncle. If every barrel oil sell for $100, $75 got to go in Exxon bank book first. Then the $25 will remain out of the 100, got to share half and half between Guyana and ExxonMobil. And that is what they call 50-50 partnership. Oh boy. Tomorrow lead story in the Kaieteur News. We are reporting what ExxonMobil 2022 accounting book say about the profits and expenses. Them say all the oil themselves for 2022, they make $9.8 billion. Them take out $7.4 billion out of that as equity, uncle. $7.4 billion them take out as equity. That is the money. What them say, they put in. And the remainder, the 2-point-something billion have to bust in two. Guyana and ExxonMobil. So Guyana will get one, and Exxon will get the additional one. To that $7.4 billion they take out. Man, you better come quick alive and stay alive before 2025. If not, they're going to bury you alive with what they're doing to you in this country. They're already skinning you alive here, uncle. $9.8 billion. That is 10 billion US dollar, uncle. That is what pump in 2022. And Guyana barely get one. You didn't hear what I said, Joshua. Man, this thing is getting you sick.
It is.
$10 billion oil. Pump in 2022. Profit. The oil company take out 9. And I barely get 1. Or just over 1. And that will continue until the oil is finished. Please, please, I am begging you to stay alive before 2025. Fix that date quick. And let us shut down this country completely from top to bottom. From the northwest to the east, west, north, south. Or the east, north, or northeast. Oh, help by yourself quick, please. Please. Even if you don't want to do it for yourself, please do it for your country. Do it for your children and grandchildren. Please. These misfits y'all have for leaders have prepared their minds for this to continue for the next 20 years, uncle, till the oil done. Just ask yourself, if every year you will be getting just over 1 billion, 1 billion, and they bagging 9 billion each year on those 2 projects alone, what becomes of Guyana? Them walking away with 3 years of Guyana budget in 1 year, and Guyana receiving less than 1/3. 1/3 of 1 year budget. That's why we are running to foreign banks for loans to eat and live, uncle. Man, are you still sleeping? Look, yesterday, we reported a story in the Kaieteur News again. The Ministry of Agriculture took a part of a loan to buy flash drives and tablets for the people in the hinterland. Imagine you living in the richest country per capita, per person, uncle, in the world today. Yes. Your leaders allowing oil companies to take out billions of American dollars per year of your assets and then turning around, borrowing to buy flash drives and tablets, paying millions in interest on that too. Are you help me, brother? Are you help me, sister? These people care for you. These people care for this country. Jagdev told me, just after the same question I asked him there, that he's a patriotic Guyanese, more than Glenn Lall. You have that tape, play, man. Play it, let him hear.
You can't be more patriotic or national. You can't be more patriotic or nationalistic, or not nationalistic, but more patriotic than I am. Since when you think you're more patriotic than I am?
Play it back for them, man.
You can't be more patriotic or nationalistic, or not nationalistic, but more patriotic than I am. Since when you think you're more patriotic than I am?
Since when I think I am more patriotic than he is. That man, Jagdeo. The same question I asked him, when he will cap the interest rate. So he wants to tell me that he loves Guyana more than me. He upset me asking him that question. Led to him saying that. This man loves Guyana more than me, eh? This man loves Guyana more than the white man. Because the white man come in here and see how you got donkey carts all over the country. So they're making sure that you stay away by adding the little more money to give you more donkey carts. When Jagdeo and Norton them done with this country and its citizens, all of you going to turn donkeys in front of the carts, not behind the carts. And you better get alive before 2025. Please. Please. ExxonMobil ain't even spend $15 billion out there. But them telling we $50 billion them spend. Boy. We paying like donkeys. We paying like donkeys through the aisle. From now till the 12th of forever or never. That's what we are doing. Father, oh Father above, the things President Ali and Aubrey Norton allowing Exxon to do to us, the non-white people of this country, is becoming unthinkable and unbearable, Uncle. My heart is bleeding. My soul is crying every day and every night. For every Guyanese, every citizen in this region, for what these people are allowing to happen. I want to drink some tea. Thank you, Miss Motley. Jagdeo and Winston Brasington, who heading the Wales gas plant, holding press conference to brief Guyana on the Wales gas plant, or gas to energy they're calling it, telling us, the media, not to record them. Now the white man doing the same thing, holding press conference, telling us they got 2 accounting books, one for Guyana and one for international standards. One says 577 million profit, and the other one says $106 million profit. And that Guyana must focus on the 106 only. And the media must not record them. Clap your hands, Uncle. Clap your hands and go to bed, man. Or you want to hear more? Want a whole press conference and tell the media, Jagdeo and Brasington don't record them with the gas to energy plant at Wales. Exxon a whole press conference, tell a we they got 2 books and mustn't record them. Are you going good, brother? Yeah. ExxonMobil here, Lall, banging on that decommissioning cost in which the Commonwealth of 55 nations come out and say, cap the interest rate, no, cap the decommissioning costs and take control of it, because oil companies will move from millions, taking out hundreds of millions, to billions. My reporter saw a line item in Exxon financial statement and asked ExxonMobil, what is this line that says asset retirement obligation? Oh gosh, Uncle, the man said it's the decommissioning cost. They put a new name on the board certificate. Them scratch out the old name, Uncle, decommissioning costs, and put in now asset retirement obligation. I want to shake the white man hand who come up with that scheme, that fairy tale name for cleanup costs. They didn't want us to see how much we getting robbed on this cost. That is why they're hiding it under another name. Uncle and Auntie, Exxon paying attention to every single word that is written in the newspaper and said on this radio program. They move from loans to equity. Then they move from decommissioning costs to asset retirement obligation. I wonder when they will move from royalty to charity. And I don't mean the village charity on the Essequibo coast. I mean stretching your hands for help. And tell us don't record that. Oh boy. Oh Father. You better come alive. Guyanese, you better come alive before 2025. Because like I said, they will bury all of you alive. Jack, they're going to approve the 6th project this year end. They don't bury you alive with the 5 projects. This one, the 6th one, gonna bury all of your future generations before they're born. You better fix a date quick. Fix a date quick for me to shut down this country. You better do that. You know they got an old saying, when you start with the first lie, you got to continue lying to keep the first lie going. You got some people, you got some of them who don't want to lie. They just end up locking up their mouth or either evading the subject. Today, I see Stabrook News editorial is asking or is actually saying that President Ali looked like he's invisible. He's not holding press conferences. When last I hear you hold a press conference? But he running around, jumping around, dancing here and there, whispering in villages' ears. Oh, I'm going to give you a house, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you that. You got plant Buram Baji. So you got some of them, like they rightly said, and I keep on saying, evading the press. President Ali, Norton. It's 2 of them. When you ask them about oil, they say, no. Uncle, they can run and hide. But for how long? They say moon does run till they catch 'em. And them this don't have any more daylight left for them. Is your light giving them some breathing space now? When are you going to take it away? When are you going to cut that navel string? Are you got buried with them? Are you better do it before 2025? Better do it. Because they're going to bury you alive. Every angle, every avenue, every corner, every opening these hooligans see, they can rip your guts out. They're taking advantage of. When my reporter asked President Ali about the decommissioning cost, he asked if the Commonwealth named Guyana directly. Let me play back the tape for you to listen again. Play it for them, please.
And for the first question from Mr. Lall,
How
he
many
says,
questions you have?
Just 4.
Okay.
He says several oil experts and international bodies has been critical of the way your administration is handling the oil sector. The IMF has just warned us to cap the interest rate on the oil companies to avoid them from robbing the country. And the Commonwealth just released a report in which, among other things, they said if we don't monitor or take control...
Let's deal with statement of fact. Did they say that about Guyana, or was it a general statement? Because I know what it is. So you tell me. You are asking me this question now, my friend. You tell me, was this a general report, or was this a report about Guyana?
The Commonwealth was general.
Thank you. And the IMF was?
It was direct.
No.
I'm sorry.
Quote directly for me what the IMF said about Guyana.
I don't have the direct quote.
Well, how we
right
can't?
now.
Well, I can't answer you. You quote directly for me. And if Kiana is helping you on this, Kiana, you're her aide on this, then you get up now and quote directly for me what the IMF said. Quote for me what the IMF said in relation to Guyana. I will answer you directly. Then also, the Commonwealth, there are many oil experts also who are writing about the performance of Guyana, who have lauded the government of Guyana for the way we are handling the oil and gas sector, for our work in terms of utilizing the administrative mechanisms, for our work in a new PSA, for our work in going out to auction on a new block. So what is it you want? What is it we want exactly?
Mr.
And please
President,
quote directly.
Okay, Mr. President, unfortunately, I was not blessed with a photographic memory.
Okay,
What
so
I
then
can tell you,
then we will.
one second, Mr. President.
No. If you're
What I
not going
can
to
say-
quote what the IMF report said directly, then we'll take the question another time. So continue with your third question. We have to be fair to each other. If you're quoting directly from a report, then come prepared to quote the report.
No, sir, she was not quoting from
Well,
the report.
well, the young lady told me the IMF said this. She couldn't say what it said about Guyana, and then you said, yes, it is about Guyana. All I'm asking is for you guys to quote directly what the IMF said.
Mr. President, I was asking for an opportunity to explain
Please go on.
what the report
Please go on
says.
to the next question. Please go on to the next question. Once you quote, I will answer.
No problem. Thank you, sir.
Y'all hear him? Y'all hear him clearly? Well, I could tell you clearly, Uncle and Auntie, the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, one of the largest financial institutions that the world, all them third world countries run to for loan, for bailout, did mention Guyana name when they talk about capping the interest rate. If not, the oil companies will rip out we belly. They did. He asked my reporter for the proof that they did say Guyana. And you heard my reporter say, I don't have a photographic memory. Boy. Then he went on to say how international people are lauding them for the great job they are doing in the oil industry. Are you believe this thing? Are you really believe this thing? International people applauding them for the new contracts they're bringing out, for the 14 new oil blocks that doesn't have a drop of oil inside. Oh gosh, wait there, give me faith. Give me faith, uncle. The Commonwealth with 55 countries begging their members that are producing oil, uncle. The Commonwealth with 55 countries begging their members producing oil to watch these oil companies because they will rob you blind on that decommissioning money. The cleanup money them taking out every year on every project. And y'all president saying to my reporter there just now, them name Guyana. Only the name Guyana, then I will answer. Well, Mr. President, them referring to countries who got donkeys for leaders inside. Y'all have a beautiful evening. Call me and tell me when you're coming out to make sure, and please make sure it's before 2025, to shut down this country. I would also call on the police, the armed forces to join us in the streets. You got a name. Commonwealth putting out a statement to all the oil producing countries. You got a tiny handful. And you president saying, did Commonwealth name Guyana? No, they're not naming Guyana. They're naming the donkeys in the countries that produce in oil. Gosh. I see today the opposition, along with a group of people protesting outside of the ministerial local government, calling for a fair and independent investigation to be conducted on the allegations of rape and sodomy of that young child by the minister. The protests will continue, according to the organizers, tomorrow at 12 noon. At 12 noon to 1 p.m. in front of the ministry in Kingston. In case I want to join, I go out and join them. Hear this, uncle. The minister, like I said earlier, wrote the president seeking permission to proceed on administrative leave so that an investigation can be carried out. Like I said earlier, it's only Guyana things like this does happen, where you write your boss, you writing your boss requesting administrative leave. All my life I never knew you just be sent on administrative leave. Oh, but on your own. On your own. Oh boy. Oh. I also hear the Amerindian Association calling for a full investigation on the matter, and that the minister should be sent off completely. Yep. You know, Josh, I would have liked for head the investigation, but I don't know if they will allow me to be part of it. So let's wait and see, Uncle. Let's wait and see what will come out of this matter. The child care protection also got involved. So let's wait and see. Any bail? You get bail? No. I am still sitting here waiting to hear a word from my staff whether he was sent on bail or if he would be kept in custody today. I have been saying all along, this country is being raped and sodomized. Now, look what is happening. Our children are being raped and sodomized. I only hope, I can only hope, those who came out and those who will be going out there tomorrow for the rape and sodomy of that child will come out in protest against the rape and sodomy of our resources by the foreigners, including ExxonMobil. Of course, when the date is set. And with that, I say namaste to all of you.